As a child, it was discovered that he possessed an IQ of at least 200. So under the guise of boosting these skills, his father had him attend the White Room. Naruto had become a lazy person. The young man understood things very quickly and was bored after that. By the way, Kyo, what class are you in? Naruto asked tiredly. Class 1D. What about you? Kiyotaka asked as well. 1B. It amazes me of you. I would have thought, knowing your abilities, you would have landed in class 1A with no problem. Let's just say that at the start of the entrance exams I motivated myself, but by taking my pencil to use it, I became demotivated and then I practically slept during the control. Quote, I see, you lost your motivation along the way. Yes, that's right. Afterwards, I woke up a few minutes before the end of the exams and answered the questions by pure chance. Excuse me, could you leave your seat? The girl asked. Looking better, there was a young girl of average height with gradient purple-colored eyes, and she had colored beige-colored short hair who was trying to get an elderly person to sit on a seat, but the young man she was addressed did not want to get up. It's reserved for older characters, you should let her sit down. Kikyo Kushida indicated. Hold on, pretty girl. Of course, this place is said to be reserved, but I have no obligation. Why should I give it up because I'm young? It's the best. Young or not, I'll get tired from stay up. Why should I act for no reason? The young man asked. He was a well-built young man of above average height with shoulder-length straight blonde hair and brown eyes. His name was Rokusuke Koenji. To Naruto, he came across as really arrogant, independent, and way too confident as well. But it's still a contribution to society. Besides, the lady looks tired, Kikyo informed. Contributing to society, I'm not interested. Besides, you have the ones sitting on the normal seats, right? The reservation is a detail, don't you think? Rokusuke asked. It's okay. Don't worry about me. Thank you. The older woman thanked. Please, could someone let her sit down? Kikyo asked. I don't mind. A woman indicated. Thank you so much. Quote, as Kiyotaka looked around when Kikyo asked his question, the young man saw a young girl his age who has long black hair with a braid tied in a ribbon, as well as gradient red eyes. Her name was Suzune Horikita. She was reading a book. Then, the rest of the trip passed quietly. The duo stopped in front of the entrance to the school gate, which as a whole was huge. It also allowed students to achieve the future they had set for themselves thanks to the guidance of the country. Suddenly, Kiyotaka was called out to by someone. Hey, can I know why you were looking at me on the bus? Asked Suzune, who appeared. Sorry, you didn't seem to want to leave your seat, like me. That's the kind of trouble we want to avoid. Kiyotaka replied. Don't compare me to you. I didn't want to stand up out of conviction. His reason is worse than Kyo's, right? Naruto wondered. If that's all, hi. Suzune indicated as she left. Quite lovely. Naruto muttered wryly. As you say, Kiyotaka continued expressionlessly. Well, I think we should go. The entrance ceremony will start soon. Yes, you're right. Quote, a few minutes later, they arrived at the entrance ceremony building. Afterwards, Student Council President Manabu Horikita delivered his speech. He was a well-built young man of average height with short gray hair and purple eyes. He wore glasses. I am the president of the Student Council, Manabu Horikita. As the spokesperson for all the students, I welcome you to this school year. Intellect and sport matter here. You should know that the school has a strong hiring and graduating rates. Manabu said. The usual talk of the president of the student council during a new school year, Naruto thought wearily. This is an achievement following the constant efforts of graduates and students. This is our pride. I would like you to take example. The school follows a merit system, Manabu continued. Here, the girl from this morning on the bus with the broom she's also in Kyo's class. I wish him good luck with it. Naruto said to himself. Afterwards, Naruto no longer paid attention to the words of the student council president. Once the entrance ceremony was over, the young man left for class 1B. From what the blonde had heard, the area of the campus was about 600,000 square meters. Finally found you, someone said. Turning back to the voice that had called out to him, Naruto saw a young girl who had light blonde hair down to her hips that was tied in the back with a white bow with bangs on her forehead, blue eyes and a pretty face. Well-endowed figure. Her name was Tsubasa Nanase. The two were childhood friends. Tsubasa knew Naruto's way of thinking well. Tsubasa's family had been employed by Naruto's for generations. She served him as a maid. She was skilled in combat, having knowledge of several martial skills. Tsubasa, what are you doing here? Naruto asked confused. I'm still your servant and your bodyguard, so it's only fitting that I'm in the same school as you. Besides, you really believe that your mother would let you go to such a place without support? Tsubasa replied. Really, Ka-chan? Naruto thought wearily. I understand. That makes me wonder, what class did you land in? Naruto asked intriguingly. Class 1B, informed Tsubasa. You also. Quote, I know you too well, I knew you were going to land there due to lack of motivation for the exams. Luckily for me, your mother explained to me a little about the intricacies of enrolling in this school. Anyway, I think we should hurry to class now. You're right, let's go. All right. Quote, a little later, all the students had joined their class. For his part, Naruto was in the classroom of Class 1B. For his own pleasure, the young man sat at the back of the room next to the window. Then observing these classmates, there were lots of people in a good mood. Well, I'm not going to complain about my place in class. It seems that I still landed in a good class, I'm not going to complain, Tsubasa is my neighbor. Naruto said to himself. Chance does things well, Tsubasa remarked, smiling. You said it, Naruto confirmed with a shrug. Say, do you have a moment? Someone asked suddenly. The one who just spoke was a young teenage girl who could be considered attractive, with long light pink-colored hair that reached down to her waist, beautiful blue eyes that you couldn't look away from without being drawn into it by looking at her so directly. I suggest that we introduce ourselves to any role so that we all quickly become friends. The teacher is not there yet. Are you in? Asked the young girl. Okay, Yumi Kobashi agreed. Why not? We don't know our respective names. Confirmed Meiko Amikura. Yumi was an average height teenager, she has silver hair and purple eyes. Meiko was a young girl with dark hair and blue eyes. Naruto could see at first sight that the two girls seemed like the rest of the class, friendly people. Thank you. In that case, I'll start. Honami Ichinos. Delighted. I just want to get along with you all. If I can help anyone who needs help, please don't hesitate. Tell me about it. Honami said. This kind of girl will become the center of the class, equally popular with girls and boys. She can befriend anyone, but now is not the time to comment. Naruto said to himself. As she had just finished her presentation, Honami was applauded by all the students of Class 1B. Naruto could describe the young girl as being generous and benevolent. Moreover, he observed that his character was also charismatic and energetic. Then the other students introduced themselves. One in them stood out for Naruto, his name was Ryuji Kanzaki. He was a young man of average height with bluish-violet hair and violet eyes. Like Honami, he was someone with a serious demeanor. Our position in the class is decided with this presentation. Am I playing the comedy card? I could make people laugh, but if I was like the one when I was a child. Let's think about something else, Naruto said to himself. Then, over to you. Honami asked the blonde. Mendokus. Already, I can't say that one of my hobbies is taking naps. I will try to show a little spirit. My daily life here may depend on it. Naruto said to himself with a sigh. Naruto Uzumaki. Pleased, my hobbies are playing shogi, reading books and watering the plants. I hope to get along with you, Naruto said unenthusiastically. Naruto stood up to speak and said those words without too much enthusiasm. Although a little surprised by his presentation, the students in his class applauded him afterwards. Out of the corner of his eye, the young man could see that Tsubasa was giving a small smile, she was laughing at his presentation. I screwed up, Tsubasa is laughing at me, Naruto told himself with a grimace. Pleased, Uzumaki-kun, let's be good friends, Honami said smiling. Hello everyone, take a seat, I'm Chi Hoshinomiya, your homeroom teacher. Classes don't change here, I'll be your homeroom teacher for 3 years. I'm handing out the school rules. Pass it behind, Chi said entering the classroom. As the rules were handed out, Naruto took on his teacher's appearance. Chi was a young adult woman of average height with light brown hair that was curled low with bangs hanging down the right side, purple eyes, and a slim body. The teacher greatly explained things to know. To begin with, the students would all be in boarding school. Contacts with the outside, such as outings, were limited. Still, the campus contained many facilities. The students would have what was needed for their daily newspapers. But also the same for entertainment. For purchases, students would use points from their student terminal on their school-provided cell phone. In the establishment, the points made it possible to buy anything. And also points would be disbursed every month. The terminal already contained the 100,000 point allocation for this month. At this announcement, the students of Class 1B were very surprised. According to the professor, the school assessed the value of students by their skills. Otherwise, it was the value of students' admission into high school. Sensei, can I ask you a question? Naruto asked. Of course. Go ahead. Chi replied happily. How many points will we receive next time? The professor did not answer the young man's question. This really surprised the rest of the class. If Chi hadn't answered, it was either because she didn't want to, but some weird reason for not answering a student, or she couldn't affirm her request. Naruto was going for it. I see. Thank you, Sensei. Naruto thanked. Later, Naruto accompanied by Tsubasa went shopping. Not knowing if the points received would be quickly renewed, they decided to save points by taking only first-price items. During their shopping, they saw students buying expensive things. I see that they are not deprived of it. Tsubasa remarked. Hopefully they don't bite their fingers afterwards. Don't you think it's strange that the school gives out certain free stuff? I mean, we got lots of points, right? Naruto asked Anna. You're lazy. That's not wrong. These free products may also be for those who have run out of points. As far as I remember, Sensei did not answer your question about how many points we will have the month next. This school is really forgiving, isn't it? You think, quote, the treatment we receive is too perfect from the start. Although to some extent the school is certainly strict. I partially agree with you. Huh, what do you mean by that? You'll see soon. I wonder how the school can give us so much money. Tsubasa asked. I'm also wondering if the institution really has the facilities for so many students. I don't think it was necessary to hand out so many early on. It might make some people lose their minds. Naruto, I agree with you. We definitely have to be careful with our money. If some people are used to this easy way of life, no doubt, she will want to spend a lot more points than she has. That could be enough dangerous as a situation. You're not wrong. Anyway, from the start we are careful about what we spend. During their run, the duo saw students go after another that Naruto remembered seeing in Kiyotaka's class. The students then left, mocking the student from class D. He angrily kicked a trash can. He left in this state. Naruto saw Kiyotaka put the trash can back in place after watching a camera. Now that he thought about it, he saw a camera in his classroom. Something inside him told the blonde that she wasn't just there for their safety, but certainly for their behavior as well. XXX. The next day, during a passage in front of various classes, including that of 1D, Naruto had noticed that many people had bought expensive products without worrying about the points they had spent. The jump was still suspicious in relation to the number of points obtained. If we didn't pay attention to our studies, this school would be too lenient. Tsubasa pointed out. Huh, Naruto asked confused. I've seen students in other classes having fun or sleeping in class, and there's not a single warning. This high school and its college are really run by the government. Students are supposed to be self-sufficient, right? Hopefully for them it doesn't affect the next point distribution. Maybe. Quote. Then they went to their dormitory. Naruto was lucky to have fallen into 1B. He wondered how Kiyotaka was doing with his class. He had seen behaviors of really limiting people like Ken Sudo. He was a real drag, so he spent his time sleeping. As they walked out of the classroom, the duo ran into Honami. She was accompanied by Chihiro Shiranami. She was an average-sized teenager with short blonde hair and bluish-violet eyes. Since the start of the school year, the two girls were often seen together. Oh, Uzumaki-kun, Nanase-san. Are you going back to your dorms? Honami asked. Yes. Considering the time, we decided to leave. Tsubasa answered. I see. If you don't mind, it tells you that we have a bite to eat and get to know each other better, since we are in the same class. Why not? Is that okay with you, Naruto? Yes. No problem. Naruto indicated with a shrug. Perfect. Are you up for it too, Chihiro-chan? Honami asked. Yes, with pleasure, Chihiro said happily. Afterwards, the group of now 4 students walked out of the building. Then, they had looked for a place to eat as the campus had a multitude of stores. They found a ramen stand. Naruto had taken them there, because Honami and Chihiro had never eaten them. Uzumaki-kun, do you like ramen? Honami asked. It's not just that he likes it, it's much worse. It's more like a drug for him. Anyway, ramen is not cooking, it's just food that we eat fast. Tsubasa replied wearily. I can't let you say that, to expect such blasphemy against sacred food. Don't you know, ramen is the food of the gods. I have to convince you that ramen is a gift from the gods. Naruto fervently. Yes, if you say so. If I weren't careful, Sir would only eat that. Besides, that's the only thing that really motivates him. I see. That's a good thing to know. Honami remarked. I can't believe there are still people who still doubt the greatness of ramen. Naruto said to himself spitefully. You two seem to know each other well. Are you two dating? Chihiro asked. What? No, he and I are just childhood friends. Tsubasa indicated. Okay, so that's why you call each other by your first names. Honami said. Naruto remembered that Honami had a charismatic and energetic character. The young man could tell that she had something more than the others. For this reason, the girl was greatly admired by all kinds of students in their class. Then, Naruto expressed these doubts to Honami. What's wrong? Naruto asked confused. Uzumaki-kun, you seem like a really smart person. Honami pointed out. That's not what I call being smart. That's what I call more common sense, but it's also being observant of my surroundings. There's nothing special about it. Quote, if you say so, but I don't think many can infer that level with just a few little details. Like I said, it's just common sense and observation. Thereafter, the small group continued to get to know each other. The more she talked with Naruto, the more Honami found herself intrigued by the young man. Despite the fact that the blonde seemed like a lazy person, she could guess that he was definitely a shrewd person. As they were leaving, they passed two students from Class 1D, they were doing so from Kiyotaka and Kikyo. It seemed that Honami knew the other girl, they had hit it off not long ago. Seeing the other boy present, Naruto gave him a nod which the other returned. It's surprising that you met someone from another class. Who is it, Naruto? Tsubasa asked. Oh, it's just an old acquaintance, it's Kiyotaka Ayanokoji. Naruto answered. Kiyotaka Ayanokoji, so it's him. Naruto must have met him in this place. Tsubasa said to himself. Anyway, this school is amazing. It gives us everything we need to live. Honami said. You could say that in a way. Naruto confirmed with a sigh. With all this around us, we can lose our sense of values. You have to be careful what you do. Take what you really need to live. Yes, just like in real life, active life. Tell me, you two get along well. Tsubasa remarked. Really, but it's true that I notice that I can speak more easily with Uzumaki-kun. Honami confirmed. I think it's by chance. Naruto declared, yawning. By chance, well, let's say I believe you. Except it's the absolute truth. Naruto thought wearily. XXX. The next day, when Naruto walked into his classroom, Honami was in front of the blackboard. She seemed to be waiting for everyone. Then she called the students present to listen to her as she had something important to say. She had earned an important place in the class. Everyone, please listen to me, I have something important to tell you. I won't take long on this. For starters, don't you think that many points is way too much for a high school kid? Honami asked. I agree. Didn't sensei say it was because of our admission to this school? Ryuji asked as well. What you're saying is correct, but there's a lot more to it than you think, Kanzaki-kun. Me and Uzumaki-kun noticed some weird things about school. Like free stuff, cheap meals. If we get so many points, why then does the school give us this kind of stuff? It's true, I saw some senpais having cheap meals in the cafeteria as if it was normal. Yumi recalled. Does that mean our points are deducted? Ryuji asked. That's right. On the first day, Uzumaki-kun asked Hoshinomiya sensei about our next point allocation. She was silent, but that was sensei's response. I think she even did not know how much we will receive next time. You're right. Sensei didn't answer Uzumaki-kun's question. Meiko confirmed. If you really look, there are also cameras in our class. It's appropriate to observe everyone in the class. I can say that we are judged on our merits, so our grades and our behavior reflect the points that we receive. Honami stated. From that angle, it makes sense. Ryuji conceded. From now on, I ask everyone to pay attention to their behavior in class and work seriously, but also not to arrive late for class and to pay attention to our absences. I agree with Ichino-san. We should listen to him. Besides, I don't think anyone else would be happy if the other classes got more points than us. Tsubasa asked. Of course not. I don't think anyone faces something like that. Yumi continued. That's all I wanted to tell you. Let's all do our best together. Honami encouraged. In the following days, compared to other classes, that of 1B had remained welded under the impulse of Honami. Moreover, the students had been careful about spending their points after Honami pointed out these thoughts to them. Naruto had found himself socializing with them easily. During the same period, Naruto had seen students from another group observe Class B a few times, especially as knowing some habits of these comrades. The young man remembered some students from back to school, he remembered seeing them in Class C. XXX. In the next few days, most of the students in other classes were mindlessly enjoying their student life, wasting their points on trivial things. In class, Class 1B was diligent in their study, paying close attention to the teacher's explanations under Honami's prompting. They were very careful not to argue, take naps, even be late or absent during class hours. If there was a problem, Honami would take it upon herself to help the person in need. Finally, the day of awarding points had arrived for the members of Class 1B. Sit down. We're starting with class life, she said, walking into the classroom. Entering the room happily, the teacher had displayed on the board some sort of results. It was noted that Class A had 940 CP, Class B had 970 CP, Class C 490 CP, and Class D had 0 CP. It seemed that Naruto's group got the most points this time. Congratulations, you have managed to pass Class A in points, and you are now promoted to Class A. However, the old Class A has demoted to Class B. Now, you are the proud new students of Class A. You made Sensei happy, Chi exclaimed. Sensei, no class, promotion to Class A. Can you explain to us? Honami asked. Of course. First, there are two types of points. The one for private use and with which you buy what you need. They are called private points. However, those displayed determine not only your class ranking, but the allowance given to you each month. Honami said nothing. The allowance you are given each month are class points, 1 class point equals 100 points. Any other questions? Can you tell us how we lost our class points? Seo Ando asked. It's just about your behavior in class at the start of the year, but nothing too bad. It was almost flawless. Just a few small conversations in class, but that's it. Now you'll pay more attention to it. Chi indicated. Is there a way to earn more class points? Sashibata asked. Of course. There are already your midterm exams coming up soon. In the last check, nobody failed. So if it had been a real exam, nobody would have been expelled. Expelled? What does that mean, sensei? Tetsuya Hamaguchi asked in a panic. As I said, if you fail any subject on your intermediate or final exams, you will be expelled. But given your results, there is not too much to worry about if you continue to working like that. Chi continued. Seo was a young girl with brown hair and eyes of the same color. She had the appearance of someone very athletic. So was a young man who has blue hair and purple eyes. Tetsuya was a boy with gray hair and the same color eyes. He wore glasses. Hoshinomiya-sensei, what's the point of all this? Class points and ranking. Are there more rewards for being in Class A? Naruto asked. Yes, that's right, Uzumaki-kun. Have you heard of the 100% employment rate in college admissions? Nothing, Chi replied. So all classes except are doomed? Honami asked. Doesn't that make the other classes target us? Ryuji asked as well. Now that you are the new Class A, you will be in the crosshairs of other classes. Keep in mind that the difference between you and the new Class B is only 30 class points, so be careful. Warns shit on the way. I just thought of something. Sensei said you can buy anything using private points, right? I wonder if you can get enough points to undo an eviction. Tsubasa asked. Thinking about it, it might work out. It's great that you thought of it, Nanase-san. Listen everyone, Nanase-san thought of a really useful thing. She offered to get enough points to cancel an eviction. Honami informed. That's a good idea. Yumi confirmed. If we offer a certain sum of points, we can easily save 20 million points. If someone is at risk of being deported in the future, we can use these points to save them. I'm for Nanase-san's idea. 100,000 points is really too much for us. The private points will definitely come in handy in the future. Meiko said. I'm also going to offer points. Besides, I don't need those many private points anyway. Seo conceded. Anyone who agrees that we proceed with Nanase-san's proposal, please raise your hand. Well, everyone agrees with Nanase-san's plan. Honami remarked. If each student offers 75,000 points each month, we can save 3 million points easily, so we will have 20 million points in several months, right? Tetsuya asked. It would certainly be easy that way, but I think 75,000 points is a bit too much for Hamaguchi-kun. I think 50,000 points per student is more than enough. We can save 2 million points for a month. Even if it takes more, we won't have to achieve what we want. Okay with me, please raise your hand. Good, that's a deal. Ryuji confirmed. Now that it's decided, who's going to keep our points? Tsubasa asked. Ichino-san, are you going to keep our points? Chihiro asked as well. If it doesn't bother anyone, then I'm willing to volunteer. Honami offered. As everyone agrees with Ichino's choice, so let's give him our points as planned. Naruto continued wearily. That's all for now. Please everyone, let's continue our efforts to stay as Class A. Honami encouraged. Voting in the new Class A had gone smoothly. Afterwards, the students entrusted Honami with their private points to ensure a rescue if there was an expulsion. Thus, they had started the year well. Honami naturally took the place of the class leader. XXX. For starters, this story will center around Naruto in Class 1B. As for Naruto's character, I left some of his normal personality, but mixed it with Shikamaru Nara's and his intelligence. We'll see Kiyotaka when Class 1D takes center stage in the normal story. For the presence of Tsubasa Nanase in my story from the beginning, it's because I like this character and I didn't want to wait several chapters. Before introducing him, I changed his story a bit to relate to Naruto, but overall I left his relationship with Eiichiro Matsuo intact. My choice to put Naruto in Class 1B is because for my part, they are not highlighted much and they are often targeted. But also the fact that it is the class in which Naruto would have the most ease to adapt. Another day, the new class was at the pool. It was Honami who had proposed this outing to the group to relax them for their effort of the last days. What was really surprising was that the 1D class was present. Naruto suspected that it was not trivial that they were there. I can understand going out to relax, but why at the pool? Naruto asked casually. I had already thought of going out for our class before that, but I didn't know where to do it yet. The other day, I met Kushida-san, that's when she told me. Talked about his class having a trip to the pool, so I thought it would be nice if we joined them. Honami replied. Naruto said nothing. Besides that, it will allow us to get to know the 1D class better, even if it is not compulsory. There was a difference between the two classes present. The 1D was divided into several small groups, while the 1A had gathered all together to discuss and have fun. The class was much more federated than 1D, under the guise of Honami who thus led the dynamics of the group. Don't get depressed like that, Naruto. Tsubasa said. Wearing school swimsuits, Honami and Tsubasa's curvaceous bodies were on display. Honami certainly had big boobs. They were much bigger than Naruto thought. Her buttocks were bigger than expected. Even Tsubasa's figure wasn't bad at all. I'm going to put aside knowing the 1D class, because it tires me in advance knowing that I should have to argue about it. Naruto sighed. Right now, we can afford to be a little carefree. Tsubasa conceded. It's true, it's to decompress that I had proposed a date. Indicated Honami. They seem to be having fun. Tsubasa continued. Pool in early spring, and most of the class is free time. Most high school kids would be excited. Naruto remarked. As for Class 1D, they look like elementary school kids despite their recent result. But by no means garbage. According to the S system, they are the worst defective products. Now that we've been promoted, it's more about us for now. I know. Quote, from what we know today, if we want even more class points, we must continue to pay attention to our attitude and also continue to have good grades, especially at the next tests. Naruto summed up with a sigh. Indeed, Honami confirmed. In addition, to obtain the famous benefits linked to the diploma and the hiring that everyone dreamed of at the start of the school year. We should stay less in Class A and above all not go down. If we went down to Class D, no future would be possible for us. Uzumaki-kun, did you play sports? Not really. Playing sports during middle school would have been too tiring. Yet your forearms are muscular. I confirm that he did well. Only when Sir wasn't lazy. Tsubasa indicated. I see, Honami added. Before he became like this, Naruto was someone who liked to train. He even spent long hours doing it, even I wondered how he managed to have such endurance. Now it's only when he's motivated to do something. Tsubasa said to himself. If you don't mind, would you like to swim with me? Honami asked. Are you suggesting this, because I'm the only boy around here? Naruto asked as well. Ahaha, that's not it. I only wanted to because I wanted to. I'm honored to hear this from Ichino's, she's probably considered one of the prettiest girls on campus. Of course, I can't say those words out loud, so I'd rather just think them in my head, Naruto said to himself. I'm not good at swimming. Naruto informed. Really, you look like you can swim really fast. Honami remarked. It's just a misconception, I'm one of the slowest in the class. Besides, just the thought of going swimming got mendokus. After answering, Honami was still staring in disbelief at the boy's torso, then intensely at his legs. Naruto gave information that could be obtained with a little research. Even though she didn't really agree, she immediately changed her mood and stretched her back as well. Then you don't have to swim. Let's just go in the pool. Honami said. Oh, okay, Naruto conceded, shrugging. As it was a rare possibility to come here, Naruto accepted the idea. Normally they were not allowed in this pool, today was a special day. They were warmed side by side, they had entered the swimming pool. The cold water temperature was transmitted through their skin. Ah, how comfortable, Honami remarked happily. Here, Naruto protested with a grimace. Ahahaha, Honami who immediately emerged, she waved at the young man with a smile on her face. The next moment, Naruto was splashed with water from the pool. He wondered if he looked weird with his wet hair, the girl pointed at him, laughing loudly. Is it okay for you to offer no resistance, even if you're unmotivated right now? Honami asked. Naruto began with a sigh. What is happening? Quote, no nothing. Naruto couldn't sit idly by. Suddenly he became aware of his surroundings, he had stiffened. It practically made them look like a couple playing in the pool. Although he and Honami didn't have that kind of relationship, those who saw them interacting would think so. It's just that I prefer a bloodless surrender, Naruto explained. Once he noticed his situation, Naruto's body felt heavy and he was unable to replay it. He was using some weird excuse like that. The meaning of bloodless surrender was literal. Avoided bloody battles while also being attacked by opening the city gates. I see, but it's wrong, because there will be blood. Honami continued smiling. Gay, Naruto complained. Honami splattered the blonde mercilessly. Water had entered his eyes and nose. Naruto said it was useless and got tired of receiving attacks. She had probably felt that the one-sided attack was excessive. It seemed like it stirred up a feeling of guilt. She apologized to the young man with a smile. After that, she said she was going to the center of the pool, so Naruto followed her. Seeing her helpless back, the young man couldn't take it anymore. The blonde had picked up a lot of water and he had splashed the girl all at once. Wow, hey, you're so mean. Honami said. I'm really sorry, I feel like I hate being sprayed with water. But we're even now, so no hard feelings okay? Naruto asked, tilting his head. Haha, I won't blame you. I'll just attack you even harder. The blonde was sure that this kind of interaction was already seen by those around him as something two lovers would do, but for this time Naruto had tried not to care. For once, the boy wished he was a brat once in a while like in his childhood. Then Naruto came back to Tsubasa. This one stood at the starting line of the jumping platform, staring perfectly at the finishing point. She had slowly jumped up and dove into the blue water. This style was extremely beautiful, to the point that the young man didn't even hear any sound. Naruto looked at the figure of Tsubasa who was swimming quietly. She seemed to be planning to leave and come back, as she quickly turned around when she reached the end point of the pool. He was at the starting point to measure the time while waiting for the return of the young girl. Yo, well done, Naruto. Congratulated. Did you see him? Tsubasa asked. Pretty much. You're the only one seriously swimming in the pool while the others are just having fun. I didn't come just to play. Being at the pool, I also take the opportunity to do some serious exercise and it doesn't hurt. Tsubasa looked at the blonde and sighed softly. After that, she slowly swam up the ladder. The girl had asked as she climbed the ladder. Most students doused themselves with water, played with a ball or floated. She answered him with a satisfied air. What's going on? What did I do to you? Naruto asked helplessly. Do you want me to say it? That you left me to go play with another person? Tsubasa asked as well. Don't use that word, it sounds mean. I hope you can fix it. Quote. Forget it. After all, there aren't many opportunities to practice swimming, so on the one hand it's been fine. You're already good at swimming. You shouldn't need to practice. It seemed that she had appealed to this optimistic way of thinking to calm her emotions. Tsubasa had received excellent grades in swimming and other sports subjects in middle school. The school had given him perfect marks. But she always wanted to improve her skills. What is your goal really? Naruto asked. You of all people is yours to ask me. You don't play, but you don't participate either. What are you really doing here? Knowing you, if you enrolled in this high school, it's because you felt like it was exciting. Tsubasa stated. After asking the question, Tsubasa remained silent for a while. Then she looked at him for a moment. Even if she asked, it was hard to answer. When others asked what you were doing, he wondered the right way to answer that question. I watch humanity. Just looking at you, Tsubasa, I'm bored to death. Naruto complained. Quote. Could you not say disgusting things? Tsubasa asked angrily. It's interesting. Although there are a lot of students here, you're the only one who swims seriously. Naruto looked away and sighed. She must have known by now that he didn't mean it. Then, Tsubasa, who was swimming in the big pool, gave off an aura like, I don't need any help. It would be more accurate to say that she emanated a kind of aura, I'm not here to play. How about you swim a little too? It might take your mind off things. Tsubasa said. Don't use the excuse of emptiness to force the question. Naruto retorted lazily. Anyway, could you please step aside? I can't get out. Sorry. Quote. The young man excused himself by moving away slightly from the ladder. Then, Tsubasa climbed over the edge of the pool. Tilting her head a little, she shook the water from her ears. No matter how long Naruto had known her, Tsubasa was a real beauty in those eyes. You're thinking of something useless, aren't you? Tsubasa asked. You're imagining things. Naruto replied, looking away. Naruto, you asked me earlier what my real purpose was, didn't you? Tsubasa asked. Yeah, what's that question? By coming here, I don't really have a goal other than to chaperone you. But hey, the benefits related to the diploma and the hiring are also interesting. I would also like to do my best not to lower the class. After that, to be able to stay like me in this school forever. Don't worry, you are not a person who will be easily defeated. Isn't it obvious? I don't need you to tell me. He was retorting an answer to deceive her, and he had looked at her willingly. Tsubasa's true thoughts surfaced for a second. It was proof that she was aware of her weaknesses. She pushed aside that moment of weakness she had shown and walked past him. While he was with Tsubasa, Naruto spotted Kiyotaka in a corner of the pool with Suzune. The two seemed to be talking about something important. Afterwards, before leaving the pool, Honami gathered the entire Class 1B around her for one thing. Listen to me, please. For the next exams, we cannot let our guard down. Without a doubt, Class B will redouble their efforts to regain their place. You have to pass the next exams. Honami said. I agree with you. What do you propose to keep our lead over Class B? Yuki Himeno asked. To overcome the difficulty of some, do you think we'll do review groups for the next exams? Quote. Personally, I think it's a good idea. I'm in. Kozu Minamikata accepted. Are you the one who's going to teach, Ichino-san? So asked. Yeah, I'll gladly accept if it helps. Honami replied. So then, I'm in too. Tetsuya added. I'm volunteering to help Ichinos teach others. Ryuji continued. Thank you, I accept your help wholeheartedly. Honami thanked. When Honami agreed to teach others, soon there were too many students who wanted to participate in study sessions, to the point that the girl couldn't guide them all. Ryuji, who was watching this, had volunteered to help. She had accepted given her high grades. While thinking who to ask for help, Honami had used her gaze to send a signal asking for help from another tutor besides her, as she can't do all the work of teaching them on her own. Realizing that she had too much to teach, Ryuji reached out his hand. Everyone in Class 1A gladly accepted Honami's proposal, even Naruto agreed with it. Even if their group did not fear the dismissal in view of their results, they still had to be careful that the 1B class did not get too far ahead of them. Yuki was a young girl who has purple eyes and brown hair tied in pigtails. Kozu was a girl with blue hair tied in buns and blue eyes. Through Yosuke Hirata, the latter was trying to round up Class D, but Ken Sudo refused to participate. As I said before, this guy is a real pain in the neck. Once again, I really pity Kyo. Naruto said to himself with a sigh. Coming out of the pool, Naruto saw that someone was watching Class A. He was an average-sized young man with magenta hair styled sideways and magenta-colored eyes, causing fear and apprehension to those who entered contact. His name was Kakeru Ryuan. Seeing his gaze on them, Naruto frowned. Undoubtedly, Kakeru was up to something towards Class A. He had already heard rumors about him and how he took the head of Class C. He was leader of his class who ruled them not by loyalty, but by loyalty, fear. Growing up, I observed the behavior and habits of many people. This look means nothing to me. He's going to plot something against Class A. Naruto thought to himself. What's wrong, Naruto? You seem pensive, Tsubasa remarked. Our class will soon be targeted, Naruto replied. How can you be sure? We were watched intensely when we came out of the pool, like in the past few weeks. This time, it was C-Class Ryuan. Maybe he just looked like that. I don't think so. I've seen that kind of look before. that citing isn't something very valiant, especially with the rumors surrounding Ryuan about C-class not helping his innocence. After all, he is said to rule his class by fear. Naruto informed. I see. With someone like that, we don't know what he can foresee with the other classes, it would be good then to stay on our guard. Tsubasa conceded. Over the past few weeks, no doubt under Ryuan's order, members of Class C have been watching our group for a while, if I'm not mistaken before they want to start moving. If anything were to happen, Ichi knows, that would be up to you. Huh, why me? Honami asked surprised. Seeing our coordination, Ryuan will definitely try to create splits in our group to divide the students. Then, you will be the most suitable to deal with the problem as the students in our class listen to you. Influence on our class, said Naruto. This is thanks to his excellent social skills and his natural orientation towards people. Naruto said to himself. Okay, I'll do my best to protect the students in our class, Honami stated seriously. Later that day, Honami was summoned to the student council office. She was a little tense under Manabu's gaze. The president was with Akane Tachibana, she was the secretary. Akane was a girl with purple hair tied in 2 buns and brown eyes. From Class A, Ichi knows. Congratulations on being promoted to Class A in the first months of your first year. An incredible achievement if I may say so. This month, your class has obtained 970 points. You can to be proud. How well did you understand the S system? Manabu asked. I only had a few suspicions. It wasn't me who figured it out and then deduced it, but a classmate of mine. I just relayed the information to the rest of my class. Honami replied nervously. If I'm not mistaken, this is Naruto Uzumaki, isn't it? Yes, Keicho, how did you know that? He's just one person who piqued my curiosity, after seeing the results of his entrance exam to this school. XXX. The next day, it wasn't long before Naruto's words came true. In the hallway in front of Class A, the blonde saw that So and Tetsuya were arguing. Which was strange, because the 2 boys used to get along well since the start of the school year. What's going on? Naruto asked. Since arriving in front of the class, Shibata-kun and Hamaguchi-kun have been arguing over a topic. Chihiro replied. It's really strange, these 2 usually get along so well. Yumi added. For such a quick change of attitude, without a doubt, this is something premeditated. Naruto thought wearily. Okay, both of you are enough. Honami interjects as she appears. Ichino-san, Sased and Tetsuya surprised. Don't forget where we are. This is not the place or the time to argue. Alright, but I'm warning you, it won't stop there. So indicated going to class. I told you I had nothing to do with it. Tetsuya protested. Like I'm going to believe you. With Honami's intervention, So entered the room. Tetsuya followed suit to enter the class. In a corner, Naruto saw a young man with dark green hair and dark green eyes watching this with a knowing smile. It was Daichi Ishizaki, a Class C student. As I suspected, this must be a C-class stunt, from Ryuan, said Naruto to himself in an indolent tone. What do you think, Uzumaki-kun? Honami asked. That's right, like Kabashi-san said, those 2 usually got along really well. Tsubasa conceded. For such a quick change of attitude, without a doubt, it was something premeditated. Naruto informed with a sigh. Is this something premeditated? Honami asked surprised. Yes, that seems to be a bit too big, because usually these 2 are good friends. Even if there would have been a disagreement between them, they would have explained themselves calmly. But here, Shibata does not want to wait for any explanations from Hamaguchi. I see. There's someone who wishes they were pitted against each other. Tsubasa remarked. That's it. As I suspected, this must be a Class C stunt. Because a few seconds ago, I saw a member of Class C staring at the situation with a pleased on the face, then he left. Probably to report to Ryuan. Naruto explained. Class C, Ryuan-kun was behind this case. Honami asked. Certainly. Yesterday's sighting was surely to see these future victims with one's own eyes. If I'm not mistaken, there is no doubt that the coup was planned well in advance. What can we do? Tsubasa asked. Simple. Found the source of the problem, then eliminated it. During the break, I'll go see Shibata-kun and Hamaguchi-kun to find out what's going on. Honami continued. Then the rest of the group entered the classroom. As she had said before, Honami was going to see the boys at break time to ask for an explanation for their problem. What Sa had said greatly surprised the girl. It seemed that Tetsuya had been spreading rumors. These were rumors that So cheated on the last exam. The person behind this would be Tetsuya. This one would have gone to the club of his friend to launch these accusations. Upon learning of this, So's group would have taken this the wrong way and put the boy aside for activities. Being pushed aside, So asked his group members the reasons for it. They replied that a man named Tetsuya Hamaguchi would have come to tell them this thing. Then, So demanded an explanation from Tetsuya, who replied that he had nothing to do with the story. This was how an argument had started between them. With So accusing his friend of starting the rumor and being sidelined at his club, Tetsuya explained that he wasn't the one who said those things. Subsequently, at the end of the day, Honami had explained these things to Naruto and Tsubasa. This is what Shibata-kun and Hamaguchi-kun told me. Honami explained. That's a real problem. Still, I don't see Hamaguchi-kun expressing such things. Tsubasa added. I agree. However, members of the Shibata-kun club did say that the student behind this was called Tetsuya Hamaguchi. But how is this done? Maybe someone just pretended to be Hamaguchi. Naruto reasoned with a shrug. This pretending to be Hamaguchi-kun? Honami asked. Yeah, we just know the person behind this is supposedly called Tetsuya Hamaguchi, but we don't really know what he looks like. You're right, we don't know what the person behind this looks like. Confirmed Tsubasa. The easiest way to do that would be to ask members of Shibata-kun's club what this so-called Tetsuya Hamaguchi really looks like. Honami continued. That's the idea. For that, I wish you good luck in sorting out the situation. Naruto said, yawning. But Uzumaki-kun, you're coming with me and Nanase-san, aren't you? Mendokus, you don't need me for that. Any help would be beneficial. It's about the good atmosphere in the class, and the good hearing between the students in our class that is at stake. So what? If you're coming with us, I'll make you a bowl of Naruto ramen. Tsubasa offered. Let's go right away, Naruto said, getting up immediately. It always works, Tsubasa thought with a small smile. Thereafter, the trio went in the direction of So's club. Then, Honami started asking about the so-called Tetsuya Hamaguchi. One of the members began to describe the physique of the one who had launched the rumors. As they had suspected, the description was not Tetsuya's. By the physical description, it's as we suspected. It's not about Hamaguchi-kun. Honami said. Who could it be? Tsubasa asked. I have an answer for that. Naruto replied. Huh, you know who it is? Yes. The physical description is of a C-class guy, whom I saw earlier. If I remember his name correctly, it was Daichi Ishizaki. So Class C is right on the ball. But why would they be that? Honami asked confused. It's simple. It's to check the potential of our class. Naruto answered. It's true. The main strength of our class is its cohesion. So to weaken it, it would be easiest to divide the class by trying to create divisions between students. Tsubasa remarked. Indeed. It's the good old method of divide and conquer. Tomorrow, you will have to intervene, Ichinos. As I said before, you are the one who has the most influence on our class. The students will listen to you. Very well. Tomorrow before class starts, I'm going to call a class meeting to discuss this issue with Class C. Honami pointed out. XXX. The next day, there was another argument between class of students, but this time it was about Yumi and Meiko. Like with So and Tetsuya, it seemed very strange because usually the girls were very good friends. With Honami's intervention, they calmed down. Good, now that everyone's calmed down, I'd like to ask for a little class reunion. Honami stated. What do you want to talk about, Ichino-san? Chihiro asked. I want to talk about the conflicts within our class, they are premeditated. Premeditated? I'm not following you there, Ichino-san. For my part, it's because of Tetsuya that my club kicked me out. So indicated disgruntled. I've told you that many times before. I have nothing to do with it. Tetsuya protested. He's right. Hamaguchi-kun had nothing to do with it. Honami informed. What do you mean by that, Ichinos? Ryuji asked. It's simple. Someone impersonated Hamaguchi-kun and started spreading the false rumors in Shibata-kun's club. What? But Tetsuya, So began. Thinking about it calmly, Shibata-kun, do you really think Hamaguchi-kun could do such a thing? Quote. If Hamaguchi-kun wasn't the one who started these rumors, who is it? Yuki asked. Yesterday, me, Uzumaki-kun and Nanase-san went to see Shibata-kun's club. There we asked about the physical description of this so-called Tetsuya Hamaguchi who started the rumors. Honami informed. What came out of it? Seo asked. That the physical description was not that of Hamaguchi-kun, but that of a C-class student. Tsubasa replied. A C-class student? Why would he be that? Ryuji asked. It's simple. It's to check the potential of our class and then divide us. Naruto indicated wearily. That's right. Seeing our coordination, Class C was definitely going to try to create splits in our group to divide the students. According to Uzumaki-kun, Class C had observed our group for some time before they wanted to move. Honami said, that's how they got to know some of our habits. The main strength of our class is its cohesion. So to weaken it, it would be easiest to divide the class trying to create divisions between students. Tsubasa added, as I've said before, it's good old-fashioned divide and conquer. Naruto continued, I'm pretty sure that the one causing Kabashi-san and Amikura-san's argument is the same element. Because usually the two of you get along very well. Honami clarified, I agree. Yumi confirmed, it's true. Meiko added, in this case, we must not play the enemy's game. Compared to other classes who are divided into factions, we are always welded together, that is our real strength. And that is that the other classes will try to destroy. Honami explained, and what do you propose to deal with that? Kozu asked, that if there is the slightest problem between us, we must immediately talk about it between us in class. Not keep it to ourselves and create assignments in our group, otherwise it will play into the hands of the other classes. Staying welded in no matter what ordeal is what will truly make us strong. You're right, Yuki conceded. If we talk directly about the problems we have together, our whole group will be able to find a solution together to the problems posed, that's what I believe. As long as we stay together, we can face any problems of the other classes. As Naruto had sensed, everyone in the class was listening carefully to Honami. She was a really charismatic person. She was the one who had the most influence on them. It was thanks to his excellent social skills and his natural orientation towards people. The result of the C class assault turned out to be Honami's victory, as she was able to gather all of her classmates, allowing Class A to become cohesive and highly unified quickly in no time. Afterwards, So would go to his club for a checkup. When members of her club confirmed Tsubasa and Honami's words, So immediately apologized to Tetsuya. Upon learning that the rumors were false, his club also apologized and reinstated him. They said they would pay attention to this kind of problem now. For Yumi and Meiko, they too had checked the source of their problem. Upon finding the source of the matter, they discovered that some of Kakeru's underlings were behind it, as confirmed by Honami. Yumi and Meiko also apologized to each other. From now on, Class A would pay more attention to this kind of thing. Thanks to Honami's leadership, they had been able to deal with the problems posed. Naruto knew this wouldn't be the last attack on his class, due to their pacifist nature and reluctance to attack. XXX. The showdown with Class C, Ryuan talked about during Volume 11. It happened before the Ken Sudo incident happened. The incident with Class B was quickly recounted by Mio Ibuki, but not really detailed in the light novel. So following a bit of a good timeline, I tried to do more detail about the hitch between Class B and C. Ryuan stated that he tried to divide Class B by trying to create divisions. Upon these instructions, some of his underlings started an argument with Class 1B where they attempted to make his classmates argue. Honami has keenly understood and suspects that Ryuan is probably the mastermind behind it all. The result turns out to be Honami's victory, as she was able to gather all of her classmates. The days following the intercalation with Class C, the A had now focused on the next exams with the review groups. They were split into small groups for better work optimization. With small teams, students could study their subject better. One evening while returning from a review session, Naruto and Tsubasa came across a strange scene. There seemed to be an altercation between Suzune and Manabu. Besides, Kiyotaka was not far from there. Manabu was backing Suzune into a corner. He seemed to be angry with her for one thing. To think that you chased me this far, Suzune, Manabu began. I'm not the failed little sister you used to know anymore. I came to catch up with you. Suzune pointed out, Horikita and the student council president. And he's also Horikita's brother. Naruto wondered, catch me you say, you still haven't realized your own flaws. You made a mistake choosing this school. Manabu said, I'm going to quickly go up to Class A. So what? Suzune continued hastily. Say impossible, quote, I'll get there, I swear. You are really stubborn. My sister was placed in Class D, it is I who am covered in shame. Who this school immediately? Ni-san, I will. You have neither the strength nor the right to aim for the heights. Know it, Manabu warns, preparing to hit his sister. He's really going to hit her, Tsubasa muttered. Ayanokoji-kun? Asked Suzune, surprised by her comrade's intervention. You were really planning on hitting her, confess. Let go of her, Kiyotaka stated, holding Manabu's hand. Stop, Ayanokoji-kun. She had never had such a frail voice. Kiyotaka said to himself as he let go of Manabu. Hola, Dick Kiyotaka. As soon as the D-class student dropped him, Manabu landed a punch, but his opponent dodged by taking a step back. Then, the student council president tried to kick him. Again Kiyotaka dodged, turning his head. This surprised the student council president. The latter continued his assault, trying to catch the young man, but he deflected his hand with his. Then, Manabu took a step back. Jump. Even though he didn't show it, Manabu seemed surprised by Kiyotaka's movements. You move well. Were you taught something? Manabu asked. Piano and calligraphy, Kiyotaka replied. Kiyo, what are those rotten answers? Naruto muttered. He's going to think we're going to believe him. Tsubasa asked in the same tone. Ah, it comes back to me. A new student got 50 points in all the subjects in the entrance examination. And there were also 50 at the last control. Also, chance is scary, Kiyotaka replied. You're out of the ordinary. Suzune, I'm honestly surprised you have a friend. He's not a friend, just a classmate, Suzune informed. You always confuse condescension with loneliness. Suzune, if you want to reach the upper classes, you'll have to struggle like never before. Well, if that's how the student council president deals with these kohais, we have a little bit to worry about. Naruto yawned. Is physical force even tolerated by school rules, Keicho? Tsubasa asked. Uzumaki and Nanase from the new A class. Interesting, Manabu remarked. Interesting, Keicho, Naruto asked, confused. Indeed, Uzumaki, you initially arrived in Class B, by randomly answering questions for the entrance exam. Was that done on purpose? Who knows, for me to know, and for you to find out. Intriguing, I have my eye on you too, Naruto Uzumaki. Manabu stated as he left. Then everything was really quiet again. Afterwards, they had briefly introduced themselves. Suzune was really unhappy to be seen like that, by other people in a real state of weakness. In the meantime, Kiyotaka had gone to get drinks from a vending machine for the group. Sorry for the show, Suzune apologized. I'm glad to hear you're a normal girl, I didn't say anything. Kiyotaka said. You were awesome, Ayanokoji-kun. Through the piano and the tea ceremony. We will believe you that it is thanks to that. Tsubasa said to himself. Wasn't that the calligraphy? Tsubasa asked. I used to do that too. Kiyotaka confirmed. Ayanokoji-kun, Uzumaki-kun, he said you aimed for your results on purpose, is that true? Suzune asked. But no, it was just by chance for me. Naruto stated, shrugging his shoulders. I really have a hard time understanding you. Then don't try to do it. Are you sure you want to drop the review group? Kiyotaka asked. Yes, I'm not going to give more time to desperate cases. It doesn't matter, Suzune answered. They're going to be kicked out. I don't care about the others. Besides, those who stay will necessarily be better students. It will be easier for our class to rise in rank. It's perfect for me. Quote, you're reasoning the wrong way, I think. Tsubasa indicated. She's right. Your fault is to decide that others are in your way and push them away from the start. Your contempt for others probably explains your presence in Class D. Informed Kiyotaka. Suzune started hesitantly. XXX. Even if he didn't like it, Naruto also followed the movement under the impulse of Honami, and Tsubasa himself knew that he sometimes had to make efforts not to penalize his class. In his group, there were also Chihiro, Yumi and Meiko. The blonde was the only boy in the team. Why am I the only boy in the group? Naruto asked with a sigh. What are you complaining about? Any boy would want to be you. Tsubasa replied. That's where the problem is. Ichino-san, why was someone amazing like you placed in the old B class? Because you have excellent grades and can seriously take care of people. Chihiro said. I never thought, and I don't think the school made a mistake. I am satisfied to be in Class 1A after getting to know my classmates better. I prefer you to the Class 1B. Informed Honami. These were his deepest feelings. Meeting his classmates by chance and befriending them within a few months in class had made him accept the whole class as my important friends. She didn't want to consider things like being the only one in Class A. Just revised like that, it really sucks my soul. We could do something much simpler. Naruto indicated with a heavy sigh. And what do you suggest to fix that? Tsubasa asked. A simple thing to know what exactly revised. why not go see a senpai who would have already done the same tests of the first trimester and that they give us the questions in exchange for a few points. Naruto indicated. Do you think anyone is going to accept this? Don't forget, you can buy almost anything at this school. At least that way, we'll have what to study precisely without bothering. How do you intend to go about helping this famous senpai to decide? Of course, with your help and that of Ichino's. Huh, me too, Honami asked surprised. Indeed, both of your help will be needed. Confirmed Naruto. If it can help the class, then I happily agree to participate in your Uzumaki-kun plan. Why do I feel like this is an easy way out? But coming from you Naruto, I'm not surprised. Tsubasa remarked. The group studying at the library saw that Ken Sudo and members of Class C who were about to fight. Honami decided to intervene to defuse the conflict before the situation escalated into violence. Seeing that no one would intervene to stop the culprits. Moreover, Honami was also against the idea of moving to another place to study, after her classmates went out of their way to come here. Then the girl had temporarily left her classmates behind to stop their loud quarrels. For it disturbed the quiet concentration of everyone learning during her 1A class study session. Naruto had decided to come with her, if the students of Class C were threatening. On site were Kakeru and Daichi Ishizaki, Komiya Kyogo and Ken Sudo. Komiya Kyogo was a young man with short indigo hair and hair of the same color. Ken Sudo, aside from that dyed red hair and inappropriate hairstyle, he possessed an intimidating look, making it harder to get close to him. He was a member of the basketball club. Okay, bring your faces, Ken said angrily. Are you a 15th century thug or what? What a nerd, Daichi said. Looks like a pitiful freak. Kakeru added. Repeat that a bit. Let go of me, Ken protested, being held. I wonder how many of you will be expelled from the next exams, and the first one will be, Kakeru continued, pointing at the D-class student. Have you said your prayers? Ken asked, pulling away. Okay, that's enough, Honami intervenes. Who are you? Get out of this. As a student at this school, I can't ignore the violence. If you're still going to fight, I'll call the guard. Ichino's, it's not a fight. We're the victims here, Kakeru stated. Him again, Naruto said to himself. Really, I kind of feel like you provoked him. If you continue, I'll get a word out of it at school. Honami informed. Hey, monkey, Kakeru continued. Bitch, Ken insulted. You will definitely be a good puppet. Kakeru indicated leaving with the other two of the C class. Hey, are you running away? I'm talking to you. Wait, Sudo. Kiyotaka also chimes in as he appears. Do you understand? Don't respond to Ryuin-kun's provocations. Honami said. What? You're bloated, Ken grumbled. Sorry to have surprised you. It's settled. Honami warns the students around. Thank you Ichino-san. A student from the tennis club thanked her. Avoid causing trouble to others. That's it. Let's go Uzumaki-kun, let's go back to studying. Honami continued, heading for the library. Mendokus. Naruto protested and, Suivant. Oh come on, don't be like that. It's fun to study together, Uzumaki-kun. So, it's settled? Tsubasa asked once Naruto and Honami returned. Yes, it was Class C again. Naruto answered. That's not true. Them again. This time they were looking for trouble with a Class D member. Without a doubt, they are still up to something. Indeed, that's to be expected. Ichino-san, the boys in Class 1C are now afraid of you after you settled the past dispute between our classes. Yumi informed. I don't know what to answer to that, Honami answered, deeply offended. Alright, now this situation is over, let's pick up where we left off. Meiko continued. Do you really think I'm mean, Uzumaki-kun? Honami asked apprehensively. No, quite the contrary. I've always found you adorable. Naruto indicated. As a girl, Honami had started blushing, then she looked away from Naruto in embarrassment. To the point that she couldn't continue to focus on her studies with her classmates for the rest of her lunch break. Seeing her blush, the other girls teased her. XXX. The next day, Tsubasa and Honami participated in Naruto's plan. They were a little against it, especially on Honami's part, but for the sake of her class, she was going to do it anyway. He had spotted an impressionable C-class senpai whom the girls could ask about the exams. Well, do you understand what you have to do, girls? Naruto asked. I should have known it was something like that, especially when you needed me and Ichino-san. Tsubasa indicated. I'm a little against it, especially since we're going to manipulate someone, but for the good of the class, I'll do it. Honami confirmed. It's really nothing. It's just to get the first trimester checkups. Naruto reassured. Are you also sure it's okay to use the situation of this class to our advantage? It's not like this senpai is going to let this class know. Anyway, it's not like he's also being threatened to give us the exams. Once the instructions were given, the girls went in the direction of the person Naruto had seen some time ago. He was a Class C upper student. After observing him, the blonde had come to the idea that he could be influenced by the words of very beautiful girls. Hello senpai. Tsubasa and Honami greeted happily as they sat on either side of the student. Oh, hello ladies. What can I do for you? The senior C-class student asked, blushing. To put it bluntly, we could use your help. Honami said smiling. Really? Quote, yes. We're in first year D class, so senpai had to wait to talk about what happened to us at the beginning of the year, right? Tsubasa asked as well. I did. I heard your class didn't get any points. The eldest student from Class C replied. That's right. As we left there, our class might still not get points once again. Honami continued. So how can I help you? Asked the senior student in Class C. As we want to pass the upcoming exams, we would need the help of a talented senpai to get the first trimester checks from 2 years ago. Tsubasa replied. That's right. Senpai's help will help us greatly. Honami pleaded. It seemed that Tsubasa's flattery and Honami's request had worked. Subsequently, the eldest student of Class C had gone to look for the controls of the first trimester. For the Class A group, it cost no private points. Naruto, Tsubasa and Honami sat waiting. But do you think it will be okay? Honami asked. No problem. It falls within the school rules. Naruto replied with a sigh. Maybe, but I feel like it's cheating to use old homework. I don't agree with that. I've been sure of it with some reactions from senpais. The haggling of old duties is not uncommon. But it's still history, right? This year's questions could be different, Tsubasa indicated. They might not be exactly the same, but I doubt they are completely different. Naruto retorted. I see. Don't worry. It's an additional insurance to optimize our chances of success. Here they are. First, the quizzes, it's the same thing. To the comma, Tsubasa remarked as he checked his phone after receiving a message from the senior student in Class C. Awesome. The exam too then? Honami asked happily. It's probably the same content. Confirmed Naruto. Let's show it to the whole class so they can all pass the exam. That was the idea. It saves it saves us from reviewing things we don't need for exams and focus on what's most important. What wouldn't you do to avoid trying too hard? Tsubasa sighed wearily. Ichinos, I let you distribute the annal to everyone. You have the trust of our comrades. Naruto informed. Okay, since you ask, Uzumaki-kun. Honami conceded. Later that day, the library was surprisingly empty. Since food was prohibited inside the library, students could not use it as a place to have meals. Right now it seemed like only a few people were there. I'm already here so might as well borrow another book. Hiyori Shina began. Hiyori has mid-back silver hair with black ribbons tied behind. She had light purple eyes. She was one of the students in Class 1C who came across as a loner compared to the rest of her classmates who rushed around their leader Ryuan. Whether she borrowed a book or 2 books, the difficulty of returning them would be the same after all. Before returning the book, Hiyori assumed that she was going to get a book that she was interested in. While holding farewell, my lovely in one hand, the girl then walked towards the mystery corner. Might as well borrow detective-themed books. She struggled to reach with her arms to retrieve a book that was placed higher than her waist. The book sat at that odd height where at one moment it seemed she might reach it, unable to reach it the next moment. Since it looked like she could reach it, she seemed reluctant to use the step stool provided. Hiyori supposed it was like that whether you were a boy or a girl. So she'd reached out for the Wuthering Heights book, along with another that the girl was also trying to reach. I may have done something unnecessary, but, sorry, are you? Naruto asked unenthusiastically. Me is Hiyori Shina from Class C. Hiyori replied. From Class C, the same as Ryuan. Naruto said to himself. Hey, and what about you? Hiyori asked. Naruto, Class A Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto introduced himself with a sigh. Glad to meet you. Quote, yeah, for now here. Naruto indicated holding out a book. Thank you so much. Quote, do you like it, Bronte? I personally don't like or dislike anything. But the book was in the wrong place, genre-wise, so I just thought of putting it back in its place. I see. Quote, by the way, the book you have with you, it's Farewell, my lovely, isn't it? It's a masterpiece. Hiyori continued. I managed to borrow it from a friend today. Naruto replied. You sure are in luck then. It seems Raymond Chandler is very popular among second-year students and there has been a battle over this book for a while. I have wanted to read it for a while now, but I can't find it here today either. I feel like I did something wrong. Monopolize it. I don't mind. I have already read it after all. And besides, while looking for this book, I was lucky to find another one. It seems that the library of this school has a large collection of books. I might graduate before I can read them all. I see, that might be true, sorry to bother you. And with that, it seemed like something lit up in Hiyori's eyes. There was indeed a large amount of books stored here. Even if you don't read a particular book, you can easily kill time here. It was a valuable lunch break, she was coming here instead of having lunch. Are you looking for another book to borrow? If it's just a question of looking for a book to borrow, I'd be happy to help you. Since you're already here, you wouldn't rather borrow another book? Hiyori asked. I thought I'd leave it for another time, what are you doing? Naruto asked equally confused. Have you ever read the Dorothy L. Sayers series? No, I've read Christie, but not Dorothy yet. If so, how about Whose Body? I recommend it. Also the Lord Peter series, if you're reading one, you'd probably want to complete the series too. Quote. The sudden development left Naruto a little puzzled. He didn't quite know how to answer her. The blonde wasn't particularly interested, but he wasn't going to turn her down here either. Plus, borrowing a book was free anyway, so Naruto assumed he was going to go. I'm sorry for talking like that, did I annoy you? Hiyori asked. Sorry, I was a little surprised at the moment. But since I'm already here, I guess I'll borrow them. Naruto answered in a tired tone. If you want. Quote. Naruto didn't know what she meant by that, but Hiyori faced him with a happy expression and asked. From recommending books to a development he didn't expect. Maybe she couldn't stand the silence, but the girl was going to say it. I don't think it's lunchtime yet. If you're okay with me, would you like to eat with me? There's no one in Class C who likes to read novels, so I don't have anyone to talk to. Are we going to leave then? It seems like time is running out. Hiyori said. Please let me finish borrowing this book first. Naruto continued. The two headed for the cafeteria. As 20 minutes had already passed since the start of the lunch break, there were already a lot of students. But many students seemed to have finished their meal, as not many of them lined up at the ticket machine. Please wait, I got a little undecided there. Hiyori indicated. It's okay, it's not like there's anyone behind us. Isn't the bag in the way? I'll carry it, Naruto offered. No, I can't ask you to do something that awkward. It's okay, tripping while holding that tray would be a lot more troublesome. Sorry, it's heavy, isn't it? Thank you. As she handed me the bag apologetically, Naruto took it in hand and he found it rather heavy. He wondered if it contained manuals. Avoiding the crowds as much as possible, they found empty seats and sat facing each other. They had started to eat their lunch slowly. Do you usually eat here in the cafeteria? Naruto asked. No, I normally buy my lunch at the convenience store in the morning and I usually eat in the classroom. Do you come here often, Uzumaki-kun? Hiyori asked as well. I guess nothing beats freshly baked food. But I have a habit of eating at a little ramen restaurant not far from here. I see. The food in the school cafeteria is certainly delicious. I'll make sure to keep that in mind. Could this be your first time eating here? I guess the cat got out of the bag. Hiyori asked. I thought since we were at the vending machine that maybe you didn't. Naruto continued. I've been curious about this for a while, but once you lose that initial trigger, you end up procrastinating, right? I thought it was good luck, so I put together my courage to come. So that means this could be the trigger for you to come here from now on. Quote. Then they chatted a bit while finishing their lunch. Since they were the latecomers present, most of the students having lunch here had already finished and left. Of course, there were students here and there who stayed to chat or take their time eating. I'd like to continue where we left off in the library. If you don't mind, can you read this? Have you ever read any of these books, Uzumaki-kun? Hiyori asked, placing books on the table. You taste good, Naruto remarked with a sigh. You can say. Quote. I'm also a fan of the mystery genre. I see, Shina said, laughing happily as she joined her hands. These aren't from the library, are they? Naruto asked. They're all mine. I'm carrying them in case I ever meet someone who shares my interest in them, so I can lend it to them. It was just a book at first, but before I find someone like that, they just kept piling up. Hiyori replied. Is it true? Quote, please don't hold back, take the one you like. So, I guess I'll go with Ellery Queen, since I haven't read that one yet. J'étais pris. Quote, Naruto had made a strange connection in a strange place. Of course, he would have to be on his guard if this was a Class C trap, but the blonde thought it safe to say that this case was a complete coincidence. He promised Hiyori to return her book later. XXX. The next day, Honami distributed the records she had obtained from the eldest student of Class C to the entire Class A. They were surprised to receive the documents from the young girl, especially when she indicated the contents of the pages. Then, all the students took it eagerly. Do you have a second? I have something to give you before I go home. Honami indicated. Exam questions. Did you write them down? Yuki asked. Actually, these are records. A terminal gave them to me yesterday. Give me the annals. Asked So. Yeah, there were similar questions last year and the year before. So that should come in handy. Honami stated happily. Serious. Quote, that's great, we can focus on the important things for the exams. Tetsuya affirmed. High class. Seo added. Ichi knows. Dit Ryuji. Here Kanzaki-kun, though you might not need it. Honami continued giving a form. I have a question. Quote, Merci Ichino-san. Remersha So. We owe you one more. Tetsuya added. Later, Naruto was in his room in the dormitory. He was with Tsubasa and Honami were present. The trio were celebrating the good start of the Class A exams thanks to the annals recovered by the group. However, their class thus remained really concentrated in the revisions. Cheers, said Naruto, Tsubasa and Honami. Naruto said nothing. Why are you pulling that head, Naruto? Tsubasa asked. I want us to celebrate the good start of the exams, but why in my room? Naruto asked with a sigh. Even though I don't agree with the precept, I have to say you had a good idea, Uzumaki-kun. Honami congratulated. He found this to avoid trying too hard, but with this helping them, our classmates have almost no chance of failing the first trimester exams. Tsubasa confirmed. Without you two, my plan couldn't have succeeded. Now we can pass the exams without worrying. Naruto continued. Indeed, our classmates can now focus on reviewing important things for the tests. Honami conceded. Anyway, you two were persuasive towards our senpai. Ichi knows, I've never seen you from such an angle. It's amazing, senpai really drank your words to you and Tsubasa. Please don't remind me of that again, Uzumaki-kun. It's really embarrassing just to remember. Naruto, don't fool me about our accounts. We just helped out for the sake of the class. Tsubasa indicated. The group continued their little party. They were talking about the subjects in the exams, also wondering what the grades of the other students in the class would be. Then the girls were talking to each other and Naruto was reading the book that Hiyori had lent him. Afterwards, the trio tidied up the room after the party. Thanks for helping me clean up. Naruto thanked. Special thanks to you for lending us your room. Honami said smiling. It was nothing. Dis-moi Uzumaki-kun. Quote, do you like girls a bit like Nanase-san? You're together all the time, and there's a lot of gossip among the girls in the class. As already said, Tsubasa and I are just childhood friends, so far, I've never thought of her any other way. Ah well, I'm going back to my room. D'accord. Quote, good night. Honami greeted. Good night. Naruto replied. A little earlier, Tsubasa had gone back to her room because she had already finished these tasks. So, only Naruto and Honami were left in the dorm. Afterwards, the young girl also left because she had finished what she had to do. At the end of the evening, Naruto was reading Hiyori's book. XXX. The following days, Class A took these exams when they had been able to revise thanks to the annals provided by Honami. The entirety of the students passed the exams without any having eliminatory marks. Then, she posted the exam results in class rankings. This role fits Ichino's like a glove. Naruto stated noticing the students around the girl. Is that sarcasm? Tsubasa asked. No, quite the contrary. Sensei is really proud of all of you. You have kept up your hard work and none of them have pass marks, quite the opposite. Now I don't feel very well. Dear class of students, let's live this day joyfully and the good mood, she said exhaustingly. It stinks. You smell of alcohol, sensei. Chihiro complained. I drank too much yesterday. Here are the class points for this month. Your private points will be sent to you tomorrow. Our points have gone up. Super. Sexclama Yumi. Probably thanks to the exams. We improved thanks to the review group and also the annals provided by Ichino-san. Meiko continued. It's thanks to your efforts. Honami retorted. I adore you, Ichino-san. Chihiro continued, pulling Honami into a hug. Chihiro-chan. Quote, me too, Mako added, joining the duo's embrace. Hey, take it easy girls, Honami protested. No way, I'm happy to be in Class A. And especially with you, Ichino-san. Chihiro indicated, I too am happy to be in this class. Our homeroom teacher is a little weird, but the students are all nice. So I want to continue to stay in class A with everyone. Honami said to himself, the most important thing right now is that we maintain our lead over Class B. Ryuji stated seriously. On the board, the classification of the classes was written. Class A had 1034 CP, Class B had 1004 CP, Class C had 492 CP, and Class D with 87 CP this time around. In a corridor, two people were also observing the updated ranking after the results of the first trimester exams. The first was a small teenage girl with lilac hair and purple eyes, her accessory being a black beret with a ribbon. This one was called Arisu Sakayanagi. Next to it was a very well-built young man, and he was bald. His name was Kohei Katsuragi. They were Class B. Class C is improving. Another shot from Ryuan. This guy is dangerous, Kohei remarked. How boring, Arisu replied. Class A, on the other hand, maintains its lead over us. Interesting, I was surprised to learn that Naruto was also enrolled in this school. But I'm not surprised now how the old Class B took our place from the first ranking. I can't wait to compete directly against you, Naruto. Arisu said to himself delighted. In a corner of campus, Kiyotaka and Suzune were sitting together right after they managed to save Sudo from being expelled due to a bad grade. At the same time, the young man was checking the rest of the class rankings, while Suzune was reading a book. Class B is at 1004 points. And Class A maintains its lead with 1034 points. We only have 87. Honestly, it's reckless to aim for A. Kiyotaka indicated, especially if Naruto is also in the equation. Kiyotaka thought to himself, I won't give up, I'll reach Class A. Suzune replied, I see, Kiyotaka said. Quote, nothing, it's thanks to you. Thank you for helping Sudo. I already told you I did this for me. That's it, are you sure? Where are you coming from? Suzune asked. Your grades on the exam. You guessed that Sudo's grade would be wobbly, so you lowered your own grade. I think you're very kind to someone you've already let down. Kiyotaka pointed out, it's just for me to go to Class A. Yeah, let's say I believe you. Say, I don't like your attitude, Ayano Koji-kun, regret and pain or regret and despair, which option do you prefer, tell me? Suzune asked taking out a compass. I don't really understand, but neither of them, and why did she draw her compass? Kiyotaka wondered. Come, complained Kiyotaka. The same evening, Naruto returned towards the dormitories. He was still out sometime before curfew, because he had just finished his meal in the usual ramen restaurant. They had offered promotions. Near the dormitories, Naruto was waiting for the voice of a very angry girl. If I remember correctly, she's in Kyo's class, Kikyo Kushida. Naruto thought wearily, but what's rehiring that one? She's banging her because she thinks she's pretty. That whore, that big puff of my too. Let that Horikita tuna go die. Kikyo exclaimed, kicking in the pole. Well, it's quite different from his usual character, said Naruto to himself while discreetly filming the scene. What a pain in the ass. I can't piff, that filthy bitch. Who's there? Is anyone there? Kikyo asked angrily. It's me, Ayano Koji, Kushida, you forgot your cell phone. Kiyotaka indicated as he appeared. Oh, Kyo got spotted. Naruto said to himself. Did you hear? Kikyo asked taking out his cell phone. Would you believe me if I said no? Kiyotaka asked as well. If you caffed, I'll be ruthless. What if I talk about it? I would say you tried to rape me. That would be a false accusation. Don't worry, it's not one. Now your fingerprints are on my jacket. It proves to me, I'm serious, Kikyo declared, grabbing the boy's hand and putting it on his chest. Despite the situation, I feel a bit jealous of Kyo. Naruto said to himself. I get it, then let go of me. Kiyotaka said without emotion. Is that clear? You'll be expensive if you betray me, Ayano Koji-kun. I'd like you to promise me one thing. You won't tell anyone what you just learned. Kikyo warns. D'accord. Very well, I'll trust you. Perfect. That gives us another little secret. Kikyo said happily. This girl, she's not clean, looks like she's got a split personality. Above all, what is his true personality? Naruto wondered as he watched the girl leave. Yo Kyo. Naruto greeted as he stopped filming. Naruto, did you see what happened? Kiyotaka asked. Yeah, she's pretty special, that girl. You don't tell me. Get your phone, I have something to send you. Naruto stated, sending something to his friend. Okay, a video, Kiyotaka asked, checking the content of the message. Indeed, I filmed your girlfriend's fart, so if in the future, she is a little annoying towards you, especially if she brings out the threats of rape. So, you only have to release this video to shut her up. Oh, you saved me with the Kushida situation. I wouldn't have to worry about those threats anymore. Thank you. No need to thank me, that's what friends are for too. XXX. Change from the original story, as indicated in the last chapters. Class B is directly upgraded to Class A from the first ranking thanks to Naruto's understanding. Also in this chapter, Naruto already meets Hiyori Shina from Class C. While Kiyotaka will meet Hiyori much later.